Every time we board an airplane, we experience dozens of little moments without really thinking about them. We find our seats, we place our bags in the overhead compartment, we fasten our seat belts, the cabin crew welcomes everyone on board, the safety demonstrations begin, then the aircraft slowly moves forward to the runway. For many passengers, it's just another routine flight. Some people immediately put on their headphones, while others begin watching a movie before the aircraft has even taken off. Some are reading books, others are texting family one last time before switching their phones to flight mode. And then something quietly changes. The cabin lights begin to dim. Not completely, just enough that you notice the cabin suddenly feels different. A little calmer, a little darker, a little quieter. This usually happens even before landing, and most of us don't think twice about it. Some passengers assume it's simply to create a relaxing atmosphere. Others believe the airline is trying to save electricity. I've even heard people say, maybe it's because everyone is supposed to sleep. Well, those explanations sound reasonable, but they are not real reasons. The truth is far more interesting. That small change in lighting has absolutely nothing to do with reducing electricity bill. It's not done for decoration, and it certainly isn't random. It's actually part of a carefully designed safety procedure, a procedure followed by airlines all over the world, one that has been developed through years of engineering, research, and operational experience. It's another example of something I love about aviation. At first glance, many things appear ordinary, but the moment you start understanding the reason behind them, you begin to see aviation very differently. You begin to realize that almost everything on an aircraft has a purpose. Every checklist, every announcement, every sign, every procedure, every design choice. Someone somewhere spent countless hours asking an important question. How can we make flying even safer? And today's story begins with something so simple that millions of passengers experience it every day, but we'll discover why cabin lights dim before takeoff and landing. We'll explore how something that seems so small can make a meaningful difference. And by the end of this episode, I'm sure most of you will have gotten the answer and will have understood why. You really never get to know why. So today we are going to uncover another hidden secret behind aviation. We'll discover why cabin lights usually dim before takeoff and before landing. To explain why something that looks so small is very meaningful in the industry of aviation. By the end of this episode, you're not going to look at those cabin lights the same way again. Welcome back to the Hidden World of Aviation. If you're new here, my name is Claire Chimkwech, and this is CC's Signals and Snuggles, where we experience aviation, tech, and lifestyle. But before we reveal the real reason, let's talk about what most passengers think really happens. One of my favorite things about aviation is listening to the questions people ask after a flight. Some questions are funny, some are surprisingly clever, and others are questions that almost everyone has thought about, but very few people actually ask. One of those questions is this: why do the cabin lights become dim before takeoff and landing? It's such a normal part of flying that most passengers hardly notice it anymore. In fact, if you've flown several times, there's a good chance you've experienced it without ever wondering why. lights become slightly darker, the cabin suddenly feels calmer, conversations become quieter, everything seems just a little more relaxed, and because it feels so natural, our brains automatically create explanations. I've heard people say the airline is trying to save electricity. Others say maybe it's to help people sleep. Some believe it's just part of the airline's routine. And honestly, those ideas make sense. If you walked into a hotel lobby and the lights became dim in the if you walked into a hotel lobby and the lights became dimmer in the evening, you'd probably assume the hotel was simply creating a relaxed atmosphere. If you dim the lights in your own home, it's usually because you're trying to make the room feel comfortable. So it's perfectly reasonable to think airlines are doing the same thing. But airplanes aren't designed like hotels, and they certainly not designed like our homes. Every single decision made inside an aircraft is carefully considered. Nothing is added simply because it looks nice. Nothing changes without a reason. That includes the brightness of the cabin lights. And here is something fascinating. Commercial aircraft have enough electrical power to operate complex navigation systems, weather radar, communication equipment, flight displays, environmental controls, cabin systems, and much more, all at the same time. Compared to these systems, the cabin lights use only a tiny fraction of the aircraft's available electrical power. So dimming them isn't about reducing the electricity bill. Imagine you're flying at night, the cabin is brightly lit, then suddenly something unexpected happens. Would your eyes be ready to see clearly in a darker environment? That simple question is exactly where today's story begins. Before the aircraft even leaves the ground, aviation is already preparing for something that everyone never wants to happen. And surprisingly, it starts with your eyes. So if airlines aren't dimming the cabin lights to save electricity, and they aren't simply trying to create a relaxing atmosphere, what exactly are they doing? The answer is surprisingly simple. They're helping your eyes prepare. Now that might sound strange at first. After all, what do our eyes have to do with flying? Quite a lot, actually. Let's try something you've probably experienced before. Imagine you're outside on a bright afternoon. The sun is shining, everything is clear. Now imagine walking straight into a dark room. For the first few seconds, you can hardly see where you're going. You move a little more carefully, you wait, then slowly your eyes begin to adjust. After a minute or two, you can suddenly see the seats, the chairs, stairs, and the people around you much more clearly. Nothing inside the theater changes the room. The room didn't become brighter. Your eyes simply adapted to the lower level of light. The opposite happens too. Think about waking up in the middle of the night. Someone suddenly turns on a bright light. What's your first reaction? Most of us immediately squint or cover our eyes. That's because our eyes need time to adjust again. It's something our bodies do automatically. We rarely even think about it. But aviation does. One thing I've come to admire about aviation is that it pays attention to things most of us overlook. Engineers don't just ask, will this work? They also ask, how will people respond? How quickly can they see? How easily can they understand instructions? How can we prepare them before they even realize they need preparation? Those are incredibly thoughtful questions. Now imagine you're on a flight at night. The aircraft is almost ready for takeoff. The cabin lights begin to dim. Nothing dramatic is happening. Passengers continue reading. Some are chatting. Others are already looking out the window. It feels completely ordinary, but quietly, something is happening. Your eyes are beginning to adapt to a darker environment. You probably don't even notice it, and that's exactly the point. The preparation happens naturally, without causing worry, without interrupting our journey. without needing a long explanation from the cabin crew. It's one of those invisible safety measures that works quietly in the background. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about aviation. The best safety measures are often there. Passengers never notice. Because if everything works as intended, they simply become part of a smooth, comfortable flight. That's exactly what the cabin lighting procedure is designed to do. Not because anyone expects something to go wrong, but because aviation believes in being prepared. Preparation isn't a sign that something bad will happen. Preparation is simply good practice. It's the same reason we wear seatbelts in cars. It's the same reason buildings have fire exits. It's the same reason schools carry out fire drills. We prepare first so that if the unexpected ever happens, people already know what to do. That's the philosophy you see through aviation. Think ahead, prepare early, reduce risk wherever possible. And the simple act of dimming the cabin lights is one more example of that philosophy in action. But cabin lighting isn't the only thing that airlines always prepare before landing and takeoff. There are several other safety procedures that happen around you, and most passengers never get to notice. One of the biggest lessons aviation has taught me is that safety is never built on just one idea. There isn't one magical switch, one perfect machine, or one person responsible for keeping everything safe. Instead, aviation relies on layers of preparation, technology, training, and layers of procedures. Think about everything that happens before an aircraft even leaves the ground. Passengers are welcomed on board. The cabin crew check that seatbelts are securely fastened, carry-on luggage is probably stored, seats are returned to the upright position, tray tables are folded away. The electronic devices are placed in the appropriate mode when instructed. The safety demonstration is completed, the pilots complete their checklist, ground teams finish their inspection. Every person has a responsibility, every action has a purpose. None of these steps by themselves seem extraordinary. In fact, many passengers barely pay attention to them anymore because they have become so familiar, but together they create a system designed to prepare everyone on board before the aircraft enters the most critical phases of flight. And the cabin lights, they are simply one piece of that much larger picture. You may also notice that on many airlines, passengers are asked to keep their window shades open during takeoff and landing. Have you ever wondered why? Again, it's not about enjoying the view. Open window shades allow cabin crew to quickly assess conditions outside the aircraft if needed. They also allow natural light into the cabin during daylight operations, helping passengers and crew see more clearly if an evacuation were ever required. Then there are the illuminated exit signs above the doors. Most of us hardly notice them anymore, yet they are carefully positioned so they are easily found. Near the floor, many aircrafts also have illuminated escape path lighting. If smoke or reduced visibility ever made it difficult to see at standing height, those lights can help guide passengers towards an exit. Even the announcements you hear before takeoff aren't there simply because the airlines have always done them. They are reminders, simply instructions that become incredibly valuable if people ever need them unexpectedly. Everything works together, nothing is isolated. That's what makes aviation so remarkable. It's not one brilliant invention, it's thousands of thoughtful details supporting one another. And perhaps that's why flying is so safe, because aviation doesn't depend on a single layer of protection. If one layer isn't safe, isn't enough, Another layer is already there, and another. The goal is never to rely on luck. The goal is to build systems that help people before they even realize they need help. That's a philosophy I find incredibly inspiring because it's not just about aircraft, it's about preparation, about teamwork, about understanding that small actions repeated consistently can make an enormous difference over time. Every time I travel by air, I'm reminded that what passengers see is only a small part of the story. Behind every smooth takeoff, every comfortable flight, every safe landing, there are countless professionals quietly working together. Most passengers will never meet them. They'll never know their names, but their work makes every journey possible. And to me, that's one of the most beautiful things about aviation. One of the things I appreciate most about working in aviation is that it has completely changed the way I look at the world. Before I worked in this industry, I used to think that safety simply meant reacting quickly when something went wrong. If there was a problem, you solve it. If something failed, you fix it. If someone needed help, you responded. But aviation taught me something very important. It taught me that really safety begins long before anyone notices it. Long before passengers arrive at the airport, people are already preparing. Engineers inspect aircraft, maintenance teams carefully examine systems, pilots study weather reports and review flight plans, cabin crew prepare the aircraft cabin, ground teams coordinate every movement around the aircraft, communication specialists make sure critical systems are operating as they should. Every person has a role, every task matters, every detail contributes to one shared goal, a safe journey. And what fascinates me most is that most of this work goes completely unnoticed. Passengers don't usually see the maintenance inspections. They don't hear the technical conversations happening behind the scenes. They don't see the hours of planning before a flight ever leaves the ground. What they experience is something much simpler. A compatible seat, a friendly smile from the cabin crew, a smooth takeoff, a peaceful flight, safe landing. Honestly, it's exactly how it's supposed to be. Most people never realize how much work goes into making everything appear effortless. And to me, that's something worth celebrating. So, the next time you're in a flight, the cabin lights begin to dim, you know it's much more than switching off a few lights. It's another quiet reminder that aviation is always thinking ahead. The goal is a safe journey, and I think that's a lesson worth remembering, not just in aviation, but in life. Sometimes the smallest actions, the quietest efforts, and the unseen preparation are what make the biggest difference. If you enjoyed discovering another hidden story from aviation, I'd like to invite you to join me in this journey as we continue uncovering various secrets that are behind the industry of aviation. Every week in CC Signals Snuggles, we explore the fascinating world behind every flight, technology, and communication system that keep aviation running and connected to the small details that passengers never really get to notice. So if you're curious about aviation or discovering what is really behind the aviation industry, make sure to stay tuned by subscribing, turning on that notification bell, and comment and share with your friends and loved ones who would like to experience the same. Until next time, see you in our next episode of the Hidden World of Aviation. And before I let you go, before today, did you know that cabin lights serve a very important purpose in the industry of aviation, every flight? Kindly let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for spending part of your time with me. I really appreciate it. And stay curious, stay safe. Until next time, bye bye.